Alright, I think I should be live. We'll be live for, this is gonna be a short stream. This is gonna be a short stream. I just need to get my daily rank fights basically, so I figured I'll just test Nectar on rank, see how it goes. Because I finished the deck a couple days ago. So I figured I'll try 2 different builds. I've already tested them out. I've already tested both of them out myself, actually. And so the first one we talked about earlier or before, and that is the Arboros build, which I think should be running stand triggers. I went with 5 stand. I don't know if it's good like this. I might change it back to like 5 draw. I haven't really decided yet. I have to play a couple of games with it to test it out. And the other build, which I think might be the better one, is the Musketeer one, because it filters so much that it improves the likelihood of that you drive check a trigger during the middle game. Once you do limit break though, it doesn't really do that. But let's see. So let's see what I need to do. I haven't done a stream in a while. Since the last stream was when Nectars first came out. So you can see I need a couple more, like about 20,000 VP. Yes, we're gonna do ranked. And I completely forgot about tournament mode this time around, so I can't really compete because I don't have the champions ticket. Let's get right into it with Musketeers. So I did 7 wins. Most of them were Death Army though, so I was playing Death Army earlier, like the other day. Let's see if there's still a bunch of people playing tournament mode. 77 terawatts, stand up the Vanguard. And the nice thing about running the grade 3 searchers, you can send back all your grade 3s and not really worry about it too much. Although ideally you do want to sacrifice the starter off of Kaivant or Rebecca's skill to deck thin. Oh, okay, so this guy's either farming or he is literally grade locked. I don't really see a lot of Spike Brothers VP farm. So that's interesting. Okay, so we'll start with Rebecca. Make an 11k column here. I guess we're gonna rush him down. Let's see if he really is grade locked. I can't really tell. Sometimes people can't be grade locked at 0. It can happen. It's happened to me like twice, or maybe even 3 times. Well, no, I think it happened to me twice. 2 times I can remember. Okay, yeah, he is farming then. That's weird. That's the first time I've ever seen a Spike Brothers deck used for VP farming. Although maybe the thing is, the people who farm with Galahad and Tsukuyomi ride chains realize that they probably are clan level 50 on both of those and they're not getting any gems, so might as well switch to a different clan. Alright, we got Trailing Rose, so we're gonna use her. I could use the grade 3 searcher, but I'm not going to. Just gonna sacrifice it off. Get Rebecca and put it here. Yeah, just go with this. I'm giving him a chance to get VP. That's why I didn't call anything else down. says something like "Ippai daze." He's like rude. It's kind of like street way, like a ghetto way of talking. Man, wow, I need that trailing rose. I need that trailing rose for my Persona Blast. Alright, here we go. Well, I lost my 10k, but that's no big deal. We have this. Well, okay, we can make 20 with this. And I guess I'll do that, whatever. You got a lot of EP. I think the self-damage also counts. That's one way to do it. 8 win streak. New Nectar's really good. They're coming up on clan level 18 too. I kind of want to get clan level 20 with them now, just for those other sleeves. I think they get the grade 2 Vertier or something. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it's Iris Knight. I gotta look at it. Ezel is probably the most common thing that I've come across. That's actually really nice hand. I guess I could send... Nah, I'm gonna keep the whole thing. That's actually a really good hand. No reason to send anything back, really. I kind of like to mulligan for PG, but it's not a big deal. Alright, so we can kind of try to rush him. Try to rush him with Ruth. See what he does. The thing with Musketeers is you can play really aggro, because you can, like, turn your grade 3s into 2s and 1s. Potentially. So it works out, usually. Only problem with running, like, Trailing Rose is you can't... Trailing Rose is the best backup. Arboros isn't really needed. Oh, he's gonna try to rush with Gareth? Okay. Okay. Well, Ruth is gonna kill Gareth, I can tell you that. Actually, the self-damager might do it. Probably ride a Gusto, call self-damager, kill that. Call Ruth down too. Cause that would be 12. 7 plus 5 is 12, so yeah. I'll do it that way. Okay, we'll do this. Augusto, self-damage to kill that thing. Ruth to kill this thing. So that's gonna kill that. Yeah, cause that's 13, so that hits over 5. So if he checks a trigger, then, you know, I would have needed 1, but... Okay. If I top deck Maiden of Trailing Rose, then I will actually ride Maiden of Trailing Rose just for the Persona Blast, but then I'll go into Cecilia. He's gonna need a second Gareth if he's really gonna do that play. Okay, so he had 2. Alright, so in this scenario, we're gonna go Cecilia, retire the starter to get a grade 2, hopefully. It's a lot of 1s. Okay. So we're gonna kill one Ruth. Well, Ruth can still actually do stuff, but I would prefer to have a. Alright, let's do. What's this? Okay, get Kaivant. It's gotta go there. Sacrifice Ruth. Get another grade 2. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. So basically, just filter the deck so you're likely to hit triggers. That's why crit triggers are pretty good in here. So 1, 2, it's pretty straightforward. 1, 2, because we run crits in here, we gotta attack in this order. I think I got 3. We got 3. Alright, make him think that I got like some kind of messed up weird trigger lineup. Because people aren't really that familiar with playing as Musketeers, so they don't really know what to expect. Well, he lost his PG. But typically, I don't know, Ezel shouldn't be running so many draws. Musketeers need draws because they don't have the ability to consistently top deck the way Ezel can in the late game. They kind of do, but it's not exactly the same because they're not plussing. They're retiring 1 for 1, so that's why they have to run draw triggers. Whereas Ezel literally just straight pluses 1, so that's why I don't really think he needs all those draws. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can do the limit break. Okay, we're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna do limit break. Send all these back. Get these back. So let's get a grade 2. Good. Kaivant. Yeah, it's pretty simple combos. I'm gonna need to check a heal. Still got 2 of them in there. Is there one in here? Oh, that's why. Wait. So where's my? Oh, it's in my hand. Still not a single PG in hand. Okay, he's gonna go in with grade 3s. Good. That means we just ignore them and we just go straight to the Vanguard. Apparently I only have 2 Augustos. Good, that's his 3rd heal. That's wasted. He's got way too many draw triggers. Now, I'm debating if I should go with Maiden Trailing Rose. Because if I go to her, I can get an entirely extra attack. Just what can Cecilia do? Cecilia can just do the combo. Alright, let's just stick with Cecilia for now. I need 2s. Perfect. Okay. Really? All that thinning and not a single trigger? Well, okay, now I have 6 damage heal. That happened to me yesterday, actually. I played against Narukami. I 6 damage healed on him. Because the only thing is, in that matchup, every time I attacked him, he damage checked like a critical or a draw or a heal. It was so annoying. So then he attacked me, and I 6 damage healed him, then I beat him on the following turn. Maybe, I guess, well, see, Meta Trailing Rose wouldn't have... Well, the only difference is that Meta Trailing Rose would have killed off this thing. It would have built another column, which is like... It probably wouldn't have really done a whole lot. I'll probably go into Meta Trailing Rose next here, though. If we survive. Because I've got 1, 2, 3, and then I'll have 2 more in there. So I'll have 5 for Cecilia, but I don't really need to use it. So his last heal. Man, I need a 6 damage heal here. Yeah, it creates the triggers. Yeah, that was kind of dumb. We lost because for some reason, every time I play as Musketeers, I rarely ever have a PG in my hand. So I'm probably going to start mulliganing for PG, but I don't like to mulligan and then draw into grade 3s. It creates 2 Cecilias. It would be nice if they could allow you to send the grade 3 Musketeer back to the deck as well, because then you could be sending the heal triggers back to the deck. And I don't really think that makes the deck broken, because it really just makes the deck kind of like Chariot, in a way, because Chariot creates heal triggers. So, because of this hand, I already have, well, this is nice to have, but I would rather have Cecilia, so no. Because you could use Meta Trailing Rose, but I'd rather use her as a critical trigger. Yeah, I think the only thing that Cecilia needs, it should be send 5 Musketeers back to the deck, not 5 grade 2 or lower Musketeers. They should be able to send grade 3 Musketeers. Because it's a late game skill anyway, it doesn't really do anything. See, this guy, I hope he mulliganed those... I hope he drew into those Palamedes, because if he kept those in his hand, that's really bad. Yeah, see, I'd rather have her as the critical trigger. Because I want to push damage to MLB fast. There we go, there goes Blaster Blade number 1. I still think, like, some people will say that Arboros Dragon is a good backup to Cecilia. I disagree. I think Meta Trailing Rose is better because she's 11k base. He's a 10k, and then also she has the Persona Blast. It's like and it's not Limit Break restricted. So Cecilia's basically the main Vanguard, but sometimes you have to go into, I don't know what this guy's doing. He searched MLB, but does he have Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark in his hand? He's calling Blaster Dark out now? There's a PG? Like, I'm not exactly sure what's the point of that, but okay. That's interesting. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to ride Kaivant, because I want a Musketeer Vanguard. Get me... You know what? Get this thing, so that he can't heal on the first damage. Okay, now all we do is we call Ruth here. And, you know what? Nah, let's just do that like this. I don't want to waste too many grade 2s against this guy. There goes one PG, and I saw another one go to the bottom of the deck. Hopefully, if I use 2,000 gems the last day. Yeah, I got lucky. I always get lucky with new Nectar. Now, I crafted 2 Cecilia. I pulled all my Arboros, but I crafted 2 Cecilia. He's throwing away a lot of draw triggers. That's 5 draws. 6 draws counting the grade 3. So that's nice. Wait. 4? Okay, 5 draws. Wow. Wow, he's throwing away everything. He's out 1 Blaster Blade. He's out. Okay, so he did get him. So he's gonna put me at 5 because I don't have a PG, which is typical. He's gonna leave himself open to attack, though. In my case, Sephiroth, not Sephiroth, is my liking, but wins. Efficiency deck is good. Ooh, he lost a lot of stuff there. That's not good. Okay, just in time. That was close. Oh man, that was close. Alright, we gotta try to kill this guy off. I can't do the limit break. I gotta call down. I need to make numbers. I guess. I need a Gusto. Seriously, I need a Gusto. Really? That's terrible. How many counterblasts I got left? This is gonna be really awkward. How many boosters do I have? How many Augustos are in there? 1? When did they all die? Oh, I rushed with them. Okay. Alright, what is in my hand? Okay. No. Alright, now call Iris Knight. This. Wow, okay, well. Yeah, this is not what was supposed to happen. Yeah, don't invoke. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this didn't work out, unfortunately. Whatever. He didn't have a PG either. Okay. And he hits double draw. Well, if he has a Blaster Blade in hand, we're basically gonna lose. Or Gancelot. He's trying to draw into Blaster Blade or Gancelot. Okay, he didn't get it. Okay, so we live. Unless he's gonna probably heal again. It's funny, neither one of us have PGs. He thinks I don't have a PG because when he attacked me last turn I didn't have one. Come on, don't heal. It's gonna be so annoying. Man, what the heck? That's his last draw. 9 draw, and then he's got... Okay. This is gonna be close. He's at 5 damage though, and we get 2 attacks to him. I gotta make my Cecilia's hit though. That's the stupid part of this. Get me a 1. Okay. Hold on, put this here. Oh wait, what am I doing? That was so stupid. Oh well. He's gonna 6 damage heal on me. How'd this dude manage to get those 2 PGs? This guy got so lucky. He damage checked two draws off of my crit trigger. Then he hit both of his final draws on his last attack to me last turn. That's ridiculous. He got 4 draws in 2 on my turn, 2 on his turn. That is so annoying. He just got lucky, that's all. Alright, we're gonna need to hit like 2 heals in a row here. I'm gonna need 2 heals. They'll put me at 31 so I can survive. Okay, of course. Double heal trigger has happened to me before in 2 games. One time I was playing as MLB, I double Gancelot healed on an opponent in tournament mode, and in the other time it was probably also I was playing as MLB. So that's the reason why Gancelot should be banned from the game. Because I've only ever seen double heal happen with Gancelot. Both times that I've done it, I've been playing as MLB. That's why I think that deck is trash. People who play MLB, they're not going to ever be on my friends list. If I catch someone on my friends list playing MLB, I basically remove them. Okay, well now I'm getting PGs. It would have been nice to have those PGs in the last game, where they actually would have mattered. I mean, they do. Okay, they do kind of matter against Spike Brothers, but it's like not in the same. They don't carry the same weight against a deck like MLB. They do. Alright, why did he go in that way? Like, he could have, if he wanted to do... Okay, never mind, because he's gonna do that. I was gonna say, like, why would he make Panther be the Vanguard instead of the rear guard? But it's because he put Mecha Trainer behind the Vanguard. I guess, but the thing is, Spike Brothers, they do such an aggressive play that if the opponent survives, then they're very vulnerable to counterattack. So it's fair. It's not like it's overpowered. Plus, Dudley Mason is a Counterblast 2 effect. I don't really know why they made him Counterblast 2. Okay, we gotta go with this. Wait. No. Don't invoke. Use this. Let's see if we can get a grade 3. Get Cecilia. Okay, now... Alright, put me at 3. Put this here. Sacrifice this. Get another boost here. Okay, or that. Whatever. Kinda wanted a boost here though, that's not what I wanted, but... Okay. Do this. The reason why I'm doing this is because I run criticals. So I want, on the off chance that I have the opportunity to check one, I can attack like that. It forces me to use up another resource, but it's okay because the way this deck works is it can you know, recycle the cards and then call them back out. Well, I would say right now the game is pretty even between the two of us. Neither one of us have checked defensive triggers. In fact, I don't... Okay, he checked one draw trigger. I haven't checked anything. He put Cypher... I guess he put Cypher there to make a 20k column. It's kind of interesting. I have to sacrifice Rebecca to call something else out. Basically, the way this deck works is you always... Okay, now we don't have to call Rebecca. I mean, we don't have to sacrifice Rebecca. We can sacrifice this guy. Oh, that's terrible. That would be, what, 18? Okay. That was terrible. How to do that. That was really, really bad. Anyway. Hopefully we can get something better. Okay. Much better. That's the only thing about Musketeers. Sometimes Musketeers can be a little bit inconsistent when they have to do stuff like call a grade 3 off of the effect. I know he has a Maryland. He searched it with Mecha Trainer, so he's got one in there. This is gonna be able to hit now. All right. Kagero can be toxic when Dragonic Overlord. Yeah, because Dragonic Overlord on the rearguard circle is their Silent Tom. See, the thing that people need to realize is every deck has a Silent Tom. Except MLB. MLB's Silent Tom is basically Gancelot, but people don't really see it that way. The thing is, why do I say every deck has a Silent Tom? Every deck has a support triple R card that allows them to win games. Dragonic Overlord as a rearguard is that card for Kagero. The way Silent Tom is that card for OTT, and Jimmy Fortress is that card for Pale Moon. Now, I guess the one exception would be Narukami, because their problem card is actually the Desert Gunners. He searched... Oh, he did? Oh, I didn't remember that. Okay, then he's gonna lose, then. Well, maybe not. He's gonna use the limit break skill to call a bunch of grade 2s. He's gonna get 2 grade 2s on the field. I think he's gonna go get like 2, like Baraki and maybe Douglas. I'm guessing. Wait, is he even gonna have enough soul? He's gonna have 1 soul, so he needs to get Douglas and I don't know, probably another Douglas? He's gonna have 1 soul because of the Emperor's skill, but I think he needs to get Baraki and Douglas. I don't think he should get. Well, let's see what he does. I bet he's gonna get Baraki and if I was him, I would get Baraki and Douglas. Maybe Juggernaut Maximum, but I don't really know because the opponent's at 3 damage. The wind's coming in 8 days. Yeah. Okay. See. Okay. He gets the Panther, which is. That's understandable, because that's a 16, so that could be 21. Well, it could be 21 now, yeah. He's gonna put on the Why would he do that? He should have put that on the Panther. Because, well, I don't know, whatever. See, now the Panther can't hit. So I really think he should have put that on the Panther, because if you wanted to go all in, he could have used Baraki to use the effect, the Soul Blast 1, to try to push for game. I don't really think he should have. Well, I don't know. Never mind. Because I was at 3 damage, so I guess it makes sense to do it that way. Yeah, we're kind of in a bad spot because we don't have. I mean, I've got 1 Augusto in the deck. I need Augusto. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Get everything. Get these things. Okay, I can just use this. Because I've got 2 PGs. I don't really want to do that, though. So, what I'll do is I'll sacrifice this one first, just in case, because that one can hit that 10k. Alright, I got a Gusto. That's good. So, put that thing there. And I got 2 PGs, so I think I'm good with this. It is kind of risky playing like this. I hope I hit a heal. I got 3 left. I'm at 23 cards. Yeah, he only has 1 soul, but I think he can probably beat me because he's got Reckless. He can move Reckless up, make Reckless attack my grade 2, then he can do the Limit Break skill again and call 2 more things out. So I think we're probably gonna lose here because he's gonna get a 3rd attack. Oh, okay, he could do that. I don't know if that's really necessary though, but he might have some plan. I think what I should have done differently is I should have called Augusto behind Cecilia, called this thing down in front of Rebecca, and then yeah, I think I messed up there. So I messed up. So if we lose, it's because I did not call this down in front of Rebecca. Because watch, he's gonna get Douglas. No, he can get Juggernaut Maximum. He can get Juggernaut Maximum. Get Juggernaut Maximum in one on the empty side and call Baraki or the Panther, I guess, in the others column. Or just get 2 grade 2s. But the thing is, he's gonna need to get something that can hit over 11. But actually, if he checks triggers, then well, it just doesn't mean that he has to use the effect. He's probably gonna get Baraki and Baraki. Well, yeah, I think he should get Baraki and Baraki, personally. Does he even have 2 of them left? I don't know why he would get this. Why this? Oh, because he get 421. Did he not have a Juggernaut left? We have a 6 damage heal off of the, this thing. Now, he's probably going to swing Baraki and use the effect, because I don't know, we'll see. If it was me, I would just swing the Emperor. Yeah, watch. He's gonna do it. And now I have a 6 damage heal. And then he can attack me again. And I'll have a 6 damage heal again. So we basically lost. That's hilarious. Now, would it have been different if I kept the... I'm trying to think, what would have been different if I kept the grade 2? If I put Almira in front of Rebecca, so I would have had 2 interceptors. He had Reckless and the Emperor. He would have had to commit another card to the field, which I think it was the card that he wanted to put in the soul. Which he rerode the Emperor, so I don't know if he would have rerode. Probably would. I don't know what he would have done differently. Alright, so let me see. Where am I at on here? The only reason why I'm doing this is to get the 50k VP for the Neo Nectar thing. I think we're done. He had 2 Reckless. Oh no, we're not done yet. How are we only this far? He didn't have 2 Reckless. He had 1 Reckless in the back row. When he started his final turn, he had 1 Reckless in the back row. He didn't have the one in the front anymore. He used it the previous turn. Alright, let me try Arboros. Basically, all he had on the field was Phantom, Emperor, and Reckless in the back. That's all he had. He had one. I don't remember the one in hand. I thought he used that. Was that the thing he put in the soul? Because he put something in the soul when he attacked with the Emperor. This is a really weird hand. Alright, now I'm playing the other Neo Nectar deck. Basically, this is the Arboros one. I like this hand. Now, if I can just get the grade 3 off of this Surge. I don't understand what it is about me when I use Arboros Dragon, but in the few times that I've played this deck, I have never gotten the ride chain to succeed. I've played Duke, and I've always managed to get the ride chain to succeed. I don't understand why this happens. Okay, we need to do this to clone. But that was a pretty good opening hand. What is that? I don't even know what this is. When placed... Oh, why would he even use... What's that even for? Like... Okay. Alright, here we go. We're gonna clone the Arboros. We're gonna have 2 of those guys. So we're gonna have good boosters here. So clone. This is gonna be 17. Now what I want to do is... This would be what, 16? Yeah. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna move this here to get that out of the way. Put this here so I have something else to clone. And actually, you know what? I have run stand triggers in this deck, so we could. But that, nah, I want to keep that there. Okay, so we're gonna do it this way, because Rainbow Wood is a good card to clone. Alright, well that didn't work. But this deck does have 5 stand triggers in it, so... If I checked a stand, I would have been able to get another attack. The only problem is I'm going to need to draw Arboros in order to do the clone thing. Why would he call that okay. At least this guy's running Ezel correctly. The other person running Ezel was not running that deck correctly at all. I mean, okay, it's like, yeah, there's no reason to think about this, man. It's pretty simple. You attack twice with the Vanguard. It's like, why would you waste an attack on a 5k? There's not a whole lot to think about there. Alright, we need to top deck a grade 3, because we just lost a 2 and a 1, and we haven't seen any grade 3s. And that's not the one I wanted. That's not the one I wanted. Okay. We're gonna do this. This is gonna go here. Actually, no, it's... yeah, it's gonna go there. Draw something good. Okay. Okay. 14. Whatever. I guess I should not have moved that up. It's not a big deal because if he kills my 7k booster, if I ride Arboros, then I just re-clone it because there should be one more. Yeah, there's still one in the deck. What's weird is there's like, where are all the Corolla? There's like 2 dead Corollas and there's one in my hand. The thing when you play Arboros is you constantly have to be checking, like, what is your clone targets? You gotta always have clone targets. What? Okay. Why would he call this... okay, because he wants to do 20k. But... I mean, that only makes sense if he's running stand triggers, so I don't really know... I mean, if I were him... whatever, it doesn't really matter, whatever. Dude, what is this? Where are all the 3s? Okay, there's one. I'll take that one. That's better than riding Jean. Because at least now, I can get Jean to get the triggers back in. So wait, let me see. How am I going to do this? I got to kill off that dumb... gotta kill this thing off, though. You would think that with taking 2 non-triggers out and not checking any 3s, I would have checked something. Today's one of those days. This is one of those days where it's like, I can tell that's not my day for Vanguard. Look at my opponent's damage and look at my damage. That's all you gotta know. He's checked defensive against me every single turn. And I have never checked defense against him. And I was grade locked for 2 turns. Well, for 1 turn. I mean, I could have rode up, but I chose not to, so yeah. The good thing is he's whiffing all his heals. The bad thing is that now I'm going to 5 damage unless I heal. Okay. If I could top deck Maiden of Trailing Rose, that would be nice right about now. But unfortunately it won't really help me, because I have to get rid of that Interceptor. So, okay, that's a good top deck. Alright, let me see what I can do. Get this here. Get this here. Let me see, do I want to commit? No, I don't want to commit those. Had a feeling I would draw the heal, because it seems like that seems to be the general thing that's going to happen. My triggers are all kind of like mismatched right now, so There we go. That's more like it. Now things are starting to come around. Alright. Me killing that grade 3 was kind of inconsequential, but that's just because my opponent is Ezel. If it was anyone else, it would have actually made a difference, potentially, but we'll see what happens here. That heal is really huge, though. That heal is exactly what I needed. Now, I want to know, do I have 2? Okay, I still got 1 grade 2 Vertier in there. So this thing can still come back and get an Interceptor. So, nice thing about this Neo Nectar deck is that it's got multi-attacks when it checks stands. It has really good grade 2s. Rainbow Wood is good in here. Vertier is good in here. And then the Gene can go in. It's a heal trigger and go back in the deck. So, this deck is actually pretty good. It's one of those underrated ones. The only problem is, let's see what's going to happen here. He's going to kill off Rainbow Wood, attack me with Vivian. Vivian's going to then call something else so he's going to get an extra attack. And then Vivian's going to put me at 5. Then he has another attack. I have to PG that one, and I have to PG Ezel. So we're okay here, but I'll have, like, literally nothing left on my next turn. Hey, Kai, we're just doing ranked matches with Neo Nectars here. Oh, okay. That's actually pretty good. But it's not that great, because this was my only Gene left in the deck, so now this heal trigger can't go back in the deck. What would be really nice is if I can top deck Arboros Dragon right here, but how many stands do I have left? I got 2 stands, 2 draws, 1 heal. He's gonna kill my little Arboros. Okay, so we're gonna have to use Gene to kill off Bumanes. We're gonna have to use this thing to kill that thing, and then attack and hope for a stand trigger. Hope for like a double stand or some craziness. Alright. This is it. The moment of truth. Got 2 stands left and only 12 cards. I have no idea what's in his hand. Come on, Stan. And we got it. We got a stand trigger. Let's go. Stand up this. Power up. Draw trigger. Power up. Finish him off. G needs to hit to activate, so it's not coming back in. It would have hit right there. It hit right there, but I didn't have any left. It doesn't matter. Okay, that was a pretty good game. That was annoying because the opponent like damage check triggers every single time I attacked him until the later end of the game there. All right, so we're coming up on Legend 20 for that Corolla Dragon sleeve. That's such strange choices. Hey Yo Pineapple, and then Cecilia. Man, lost 2 games with Musketeers, won 1 game with Arboros. But okay, here's the thing. Like, they need to buff Cecilia. Cecilia's Limit Break effect should be able to put grade 3s back in the deck. That's all I'm saying. Like, you gotta put 5 Musketeers. There's no reason why it shouldn't put grade 3s back in the deck. If Chariot can create grade 3 heals to go in the deck, if Ganslot can go back in the deck, if Jellybeans can go back in the deck, Gene can go back in the deck, you guys get the idea. Musketeers should be able to send grade 3s back in the deck. Like, that to me is complete garbage that they can't do that. They probably made it that way because later on, Musketeers would be really, really good. They'd be able to put, like, crits back, they'd be able to put heals back. And in a game like this, you know, that can be a little bit messed up. So that's probably why it is the way it is. But if they need to nerf Cecile, they can just nerf her later on. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't need to mess it up now. Why is it that when I get the ride chain successfully, I have to be against a VP farmer? Like, what's up with that? Okay, I'm gonna clone Corolla. I'll clone that thing next. Actually, can I rush him? This is 15. Yeah, I can rush this guy. This is a VP farmer too. I get a decent hand and I have to fight against a VP farmer. I mean, I got 1 PG, I got my Arboros ride chain. But, man, Musketeers, though, can get really lucky sometimes, and where you can have, like, those perfect games where you get triggers literally every single time you attack because you're thinning the deck out a lot. Like, you're using Rebecca and Kaivon, and even Cecilia, to thin out, you know, like, pull all the non-triggers onto the board so that you're likely to twin drive into a trigger that battle. And that's the thing about Musketeers that people don't really think too much about. They thin during the main phase, so they can. It's a lot like Ezel with his limit break skill, but it's 1-for-1, but it's not a limit break only skill, if that makes sense. All right, so now we're gonna clone Corolla Dragon. Okay, do I want to be nice to this guy and give him some VP? Let's be nice to him. He's cool. He's cool. So we're gonna be cool. We're gonna let him get an extra VP. Let him get a chance to put me at 4. This guy's cool because he's VP farming with great nature. He's not VP farming with Galahad or... I mean, the people who are farming with Galahad and Tsukuyomi, I hope those people are not clan level 50. Because they're clan level 50 and they're trying to VP farm with those 2 decks. Like, they're not really going to get much out of that. Today, there was someone VP farming with Spike Brothers, and I think yesterday I saw someone VP farming with Narukami. Just because Narukami has that 6k grade 0, that doesn't really do anything. I think it has an effect where it can't boost rear guards or something like that. But it can actually be called out of the soul, unlike Undus and the Trumpeter, which are the most epic starters of all time. Okay, now we're gonna get the full board. He got his VP. He got his VP. I was nice. I'll still be nice. I'll still be nice. Well, too late. Never mind. That was fail. Never mind. I just realized, like, I put a grade 2 up there. Can only boost grade 3. What? Oh yeah. The Narukami thing. Okay, guess what? Here, I'll be nice to him. There. Now he still has a chance to get more well, oh, he has to, oh, he can't. Never mind. He can't because he has to ride up. I'm at 11k. So even if he can attack me, he can't hit over 11k now. Oh man, it's weird. When I first started playing as Neo Nectar this season, I tested Arboros first because Arboros was the deck I had completed really early on, and then I lost a lot of games with it. And then when I built Musketeers, I started going on like 7 win streaks with Musketeers. But the problem with Musketeers, well, like you guys saw in the last game, I just ran into some really bad luck. And that's probably all it is. Alright. We're 1,000 away. Let's do one more. Just do one more for that Sentinel medal. But with stand triggers, you could potentially, like on a turn where you're on limit break, with stand triggers, and you having to use Gene to go back in the deck, you could potentially get a lot of attacks in. If you check the stand. Okay, with a hand like this, I want to send one of these back. Well, although I could use this to clone though, so, well, I guess we'll just keep the whole hand. Hope we can mulligan the grade 1 then. Because I could call down my grade 2 in the back row, clone it off of Arboros when I ride up to grade 3. Guy's taking a long time to decide what to ride. It's pretty straightforward, dude. You just ride Airmo. See? Airmo. It's easy. You don't even need to think about it. What are you gonna ride? Like, the PG? No. I don't like playing against opponents that take way too long to play a clan that's been in the game since, like, April. I mean, it's not hard, guys. Come on. And if you're still playing Kagero, then it's like, what are you doing? Okay. Yeah, just put this here. Now, here's what I want to see. I want to see if he still has Tejas. Because I guess the smart thing to do was to put Corolla Dragon behind the Vanguard so that Tejas can't hit him, but let's see if he still runs Tejas. Because I don't think there's a lot of people running Tejas anymore post-nerf. I think most people are running like Streakin', Burning Horn, and Bellicosity. And Berserk Dragon. But let's see. He rides that, and now I want to see if he's got the Tejas. Somehow I doubt it. Yeah, see? He's probably thinking, he sees that curl, he's like, oh man, I should have kept Tejas in here. That's how metas define things. Oh man, we both checked 1 PG. Okay, so we're even. Alright, so we're gonna clone Corolla. I'm probably gonna put it in the other rearguard lane because I'm gonna need yeah. Gonna put that there. And I could clone the last one off of Arboros. So what I could try to do here is I could try to rush him down. Let me see. So how can I... One defensive trigger will mess me up, so I guess I'm not gonna do that. So what we're gonna do, even though I run stands, the optimal thing is to attack like this, because I can heal. That's the reason why. I don't want to put him at 2 and then not be able to heal. So I'm gonna clone my 3rd Corolla, put it behind the Vanguard when I ride up, because I got 2 of them left. And that's pretty nice on Limit Break, because those become 11k boosters. And with stand triggers, that can be pretty lethal. You know, have you guys actually encountered a lot of Kagero? Like, I don't really encounter them that much. I wasn't really expecting to play against them today. I guess you see them more. They're more common than Angel Feathers in Great Nature, but they certainly aren't nearly as common as Narukami, Ezel, MLB, Shadow Paladin, you know, I think they're about as common as... I think they're less common than Spike Brothers. I've seen more people playing Spike Brothers. Okay, is he gonna stand up? Because I don't know if it's gonna be worth it. I guess not. I don't know why he used Conroe early, unless he really didn't have the grade, the Persona Blast in hand. Otherwise, he could have potentially done something with that stand play. Okay, here we go. Arboros Dragon. Get me that third Corolla. I don't have any damage though, so this is gonna be a little bit awkward. I'm just gonna have to play it out like this. Let me see how many genes. Okay, we're already out we're already out 3 heals technically, so guess we're just gonna do it this way. Come on, Stan. That's why we run those stands. There goes the Persona Blast. See, to me, Kagero is just kind of slow. It's a nice deck, but it's just slow and boring, man. Like, it's one of those decks where it's like, I'll play them, like, if I'm just in the mood to play Kagero, but it's not one of those decks that I can see myself climbing Legend with anymore. Because it's so slow, you go up against heavy, like, when you go up against aggro-heavy decks like Golds, and even like Spectral Duke Dragon, it's just super annoying to face those decks as Kagero. Well, that was actually pretty smart, but the thing is they buffed Arboros to have the ability to Counterblast 2 and clone. So, yeah. But he's doing a good job here with those Berserks to try to clean them up. That's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. That's really good what he's doing there. He's playing defensively. He's trying to defend. He's trying to reduce my offensive attack power by doing that. Kagero is a very defensive deck. And he's going to use Salamander to get rid of the last one. So I won't have a target to clone. That's actually really smart. Now, I don't know. I haven't seen a heal from him. So he could... There's a high probability that he's going to heal here. Either here or when I attack him. So he's got a PG in hand. I don't know what the other 2 cards are. He damage checked 1 PG. He runs Blockade as a draw. That tells me that he probably only runs 1 Blockade. And that means that Dual Axe is probably the heal trigger, if I had to guess. I lost Vertier. That's not good, because I kind of wanted Vertier to be used to call out from Jean. I might have to call Jean down and then attack... Well, we'll see. I don't know. It's gonna be kind of awkward. Ooh, made him Trilling Rose. Alright, but here's what we can do, though. What I can do is call Maiden Rainbow Wood, clone her to get another one, and then just do that. Unfortunately, she won't be able to draw, but it's okay because I'm at such low damage. Yeah, they nerfed Cecilia when they should not have done that. She should have been able to put the heal trigger back into the deck. Because I bet you would see a lot more people playing Neo Nectar right now if she could put grade 3s back in the deck. Oh, that's unfortunate. What's this guy gonna do? He's got no counterblast for Overlord. Is this his heal? That's his heal. This thing can't really threaten me because he doesn't have any counterblasts. So that's his whole hand. Okay, so he's gonna bank on healing here to survive because he's got literally like no interceptors. Almost tempted to rewrite into Trailing Rose, but we're not going to do it. I'll use Trailing Rose to attack to the Vanguard. Might heal. Told you, I called it. Because it's like, right around 20 cards is when you can expect... If someone hasn't healed by 20 cards left, there's a very high probability they're going to heal. Oh, I could have used her. I could have used her for that Persona Blast, but that's okay. We still got one left. We still have 3 stands left. But, by him killing off my boosters, he really messed me up. Now, the thing is... I may have to call down a PG here. What do I want to do? I want to call this here. Hold on. What do we got? We got 2 Vertiers still in there. So, I'm going to call one of them down. We're going to do this. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well... Okay, that's okay. I can hit over 6 damage heal now. Oh, actually I can't. He's gonna go to 5. I can just hit over defensive. Alright, so we're gonna call 2 Genes out. Alright, whatever. And that's why I don't play Kagero anymore. Too slow. And if you brick, you basically are in big, big trouble. Like what happened there. The funny thing is, they don't get any support for a super long time. Like, in the JP, they still haven't gotten any new cards. And I was expecting Dauntless and Seal Dragon, the Seal Dragon Cross Ride and Dauntless Drive Dragon were supposed to be releasing next month for JP, but they changed it. They put like Celestials, which is supposed to be out. See, like what I was expecting to see in the Japanese release for next month was Seal Dragons, Dauntless Drive, so Kagero support basically, Jewel Knights, Celestials, and more Aquaforce. Last card Revan and Transcord Dragon. I was expecting those 4, but instead they changed it. They go and they put Bermuda Triangle, which is not terrible because Bermuda Triangle was supposed to get support around, like in the beginning of Season 3 anyway. So Bermuda, Celestials as expected, and Jewel Knights as expected, even though Jewel Knights technically should have been this month. And then whatever the other thing is that they put in there. So it's kind of weird how they changed it up for Zero in terms of the release. Oh yeah, OTT. Magus archetype for OTT. Which is... I kind of forget when they came out in the original. I know they were in an extra booster. They were in like an OTT exclusive booster or something like that. I can't really remember if the Magus... They were not a trial deck, because I'm thinking of V-Series for Hexagonal Magus. But basically, OTT Break Ride is Hexagonal Magus. So... But yeah, it's so weird, because that means that the JP... I mean, just Kagero in general isn't going to get any support for a super long time. Which means that those diehards are stuck playing VN in a sea of Break Ride meta and not having access to Break Ride. Well, they're not the only ones, because, you know, like Pale Moon, Dark Irregular, all those other guys, Dimension Please, they're all going to be waiting around for a while. They'll be waiting even longer, because... I was thinking about it, I was like, well, it kind of makes sense that Narukami would get Eradicators first, because Narukami, like, let's look at it, like, let's think about it. Go to the, let me look at the cards here. Or actually, just go look at the crafting section. Well, I could use the deck list to showcase it, unless I deleted my Dote deck, but I think I did. I gotta see if I still have it. Okay, I still have it. So these guys got cards. Let's think about when they got cards. April, May, June. They got cards 3 months in a row. In the first month, they had Blockade and Overlord. In the second month, they got Dragonic Waterfall and Amber Dragon. In the third month, they got the An, you know, and all their current support. So they got three sets of support. Now let's compare that to Narukami. Narukami got... Currently, Narukami has had 2 sets of support. They have the initial set. They have... which was last month. They have the current set, which has Indra. So they got Indra. So that means they've got 2. Now, next month, for English, they don't get any support. There's no Narukami. The following month, there is Narukami. They get the Blood. They get Dungari. So they get support at the end. So they would get support in, I guess, if we're going off of English, October. They get support in October. So that will make them equal to Kagero in terms of set support wave. Because when they finish Asia Circuit, they'll only have gotten cards 3 times. So they'll be equal to Kagero getting cards 3 times. So they're dead even. So then when you start Break Ride, it doesn't matter who you give cards first, they're dead even. So it's like Eradicators now makes there technically be more Narukami cards than Kagero. I mean, we can verify this when we look at the... there's somewhere in there. There's a way to see how many cards. Oh yeah, the clan level thing. Narukami doesn't have too much support right now. In Break Ride, not right now. No, Eradicator, they just got their initial support wave. Like, okay, right here. So look, see. Kagero, 90 cards. Let's look at Narukami. 66 cards. There you go. When Dungari comes out, they get probably like 20 cards. So they're going to be like at 80 something, probably around 80 cards. So they'll still have less than Kagero. So when they go into Break Ride with Eradicator, then they'll have different cards. Then they'll have like 100 plus. Or maybe like 99, 97, maybe 101, 102 cards with... actually, I take that back. I don't think they get that many cards at the end of Asia Circuit. They basically get the Blood, they get Dungari, they get a new starter for Dungari. They might get a new starter for the Blood, I forget. And then they get like, you know, probably some grade 2 for Dungari and some grade 1 rare, you know what I'm talking about? They probably get like maybe, let's say they get like 8 new cards. Maybe 10 new cards. 10 new cards for the end of Season 2. That puts them at 76 cards. Compared to Kagero, which currently has 90 cards. So, no. Once they go to Eradicator, then they surpass Kagero. I'm guessing they do. They better. They better. Otherwise, Eradicator still need more cards before Kagero gets cards. Eradicator has 4 sets in Link Joker. Eradicator, yes, they do. Yeah, that's correct. They get... Well, the thing is, you're thinking of the physical card game. We don't know how Zero's gonna do this. Zero's gonna, like, change the way they're doing stuff. But you're right, though. In general, Narukami gets more cards than Kagero. They get set 10, they get set 12, they get set 14, and... Is that it? They get 3 sets. 10, 12, and 14. So they get 10, which is... I forget what 10 is called. It's the first Season 3 set. They get Binding Force of the Black Rings, which is the set with Raging Form Dragon, Nebula Lord, and the Vowing Saber Reverse. It's the reverse Narukami. That's set 12. Then set 14, Brilliant Strike. The set with Minerva, they get Tempest Bolt Dragon in set 14. So they get 3. I think there's 3 of them. Oh, you're right. Set 11 has... Eradicator Sweep Command. Chronos Command. It's not Chronos Command. It's Sweep Command. You're right. They get Eradicator Sweep Command. You're right. He's supposed to come out next month for JP, but they didn't do it. So you're right. That's 4. Good call. So they get... That's 4 sets. 10, 11, 12, 14. Now let's look at Kagero. Kagero gets cards in 11. Seal Dragons Unleashed. They get that one. Corduroy... Blockade, Hellfire Blockade Inferno, Dauntless Drive Dragon, they get that wave. So that's set 11. That comes along with Celestials and Aqua Force's Transcore Dragon and Last Card Revan and all that other stuff. I think there was some Genesis support in there. I think Fortuna for Genesis was in that set, as well as some of the witches. Okay, so that's set 11. They also get cards in set 15. No, set 14. They get Dauntless Drive, Dominant Dauntless Reverse, or whatever his name is. They get Evil Miwa in Brilliant Strikes. That's set 14. And then they get set 15, which has the Rebirth for Kai, which is the final wave. So I think they get 3. So set 11, 14, and 15. Are we going too fast? We were in break right already. Are we going too fast? I don't think so. Honestly, I don't really think so. I do think that the way that they have done the releases for Global, in terms of the clan events, is a lot better than JP. I think JP is too slow on the clan events to the point where when the clans come out, those decks are pretty much underpowered and irrelevant in a meta point of view. So you don't really see them in JP at all. Whereas in Global, like for example, right now, Musketeers and Arboros are the prime example, especially Musketeers, of 2 decks that are coming out now, and they fit in perfectly with how the current meta is. Like, you can literally build Neo Nectar or even Spike Brothers. Well, okay, we already know about Spike Brothers. You can build Neo Nectar and Spike Brothers, climb Legend to Legend 20 with either one of them, and you won't have too much trouble. As long as you put in the time. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. I don't think it's too fast. How is it too fast? Link Joker is gonna be like 9 months. How is that too fast? That's more than half a year. You think about that, you're spending like more than half a year in Season 3. And we've spent pretty much half a year in Season 1 and 2. April, May, June, July, August. That's 5 months. Next month is gonna mark half a year for Global. I think the only thing... No, honestly, I don't think anything's too fast. Now, the only time it feels like it's too fast is if you're someone who can't play the game all the time. You have to take a break. And the bad thing about that is if you miss out on a clan event, and if it's one of your favorite clans, like in my case, I like Neo Nectar, and if I miss out on a Neo Nectar event, then what basically ends up happening is you fall behind, and you're gonna have to, like, the next time they come around, you're going to have to, like, throw a whole bunch of gems on rolling the old gacha in addition to the new gacha, which I don't like that at all. Honestly, what I think they really need to do for this game is they should allow you to do the character fight. Like, for example, with Mai, we'll use Mai as an example, because it's her clan event right now. After the clan event is over, they need to put her in the character fight roster. Goki, Kyo, and Mai should, right now, well, okay, I don't know about Mai, but those other 2 should be in the character roster right now. There's no reason for them not being in the roster. I think that is one of the stupidest limitations and one of the worst oversights from a development standpoint, because if you know there are, like, okay, they did a survey last month, and one of the questions was, what is your favorite clan? What is your favorite clan? Guess what clan I wrote down? They even put a clan, they even put a question like, what is your second favorite clan? I think they ask you, like, what's your favorite clan and what's your second favorite clan? So I purposely put Neo Nectar as my favorite clan, even though they're not really my favorite clan. I put Neo Nectar on purpose so that they're aware that Neo Nectar that is a limited clan and it's someone's favorite clan. Because I think it's very stupid that you can't fight against Mai in character fights if you miss out on the event and you want to build the deck. That is the most retarded thing about this game. Okay, there's 2 retarded things. One retarded thing about the game is that the character drops are not guaranteed. They do that because they want you to spend money, so I get that. I get the whole stupid gacha thing. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. Ultimately, I think it's going to drive people away from their game long term. Because there's originally there were a large chunk of players, myself included, that do not play gacha games, and came to Vanguard Zero because it's a card game and we like the physical card game. But the gacha thing, the character fights being, we'll just use Tetsu as an example. Let's fight him twice here, and let's see if I get a perfect crystal and orb both times here. Let's see if it happens. Nothing. And then we got one. See what I'm talking about? This trash right here, where they don't give me this sort of thing, is gonna cause people to quit the game in the long run. But I don't think the developers know that. They're trying to get you to push you to spend gems during the event. No, I understand that, but this is stupid. Because if you've got someone who, like, for example, Solemn Vanguard. I don't know how many people in the chat follow the physical card game, but Solemn Vanguard is I'll say he's a relatively popular streamer for Vanguard, for the physical card game, not Zero. He doesn't really do too much Zero, and I think it's because he doesn't like gacha games, he doesn't like the gambling aspect, he doesn't want to waste money on it. And Grand Blue is his favorite clan. He is a hardcore, die-hard Grand Blue player with a physical card game in premium and standard. And he did like 2 videos on Vanguard Zero back in April when the game was new and the Goki event was out the first time. But then ever since that, nothing, nada. He hasn't covered Vanguard Zero at all. It's like he doesn't even play it. And I think it's because of the issues that I'm talking about. But yeah, I get why they're not guaranteed drops. But at the very least, why can't the character... Okay, because here's the thing. If you miss out on Goki, Kyo, Mai, and if you want to play... Like, let's say you're Solemn Vanguard, and you want to play Grand Blue, and you just got the game. You just got the game today. Like, today is your first day playing the game. And you want to build Grand Blue because it's your favorite clan, because you've got every single Grand Blue card in the physical card game. You've been playing it since Grand Blue was first a thing, or, you know, since 7 Seas, Night Mist, Break Ride, or Stride days when he was busted. Guess what? Can't do it. Can't play Grand Blue at all. Can't even fight Goki in the character fights to craft Cositis or all the other stuff. Guess what? If that was me, this game's trash. I'm not going to play it. It's that simple. That's the reason why they need to put those characters that are limited clans as character fights. Because think about it. You're not really... Okay, the clan event is good because it introduces new cards for that clan. Once the clan event is gone, you should still be able to do the character fight so you can craft the cards that you missed out on. It doesn't really hurt. It just makes it so that you can't... I mean, and the thing is, here's the thing. They want people to spend money on gems for the clan event. Well, guess what? If you put the character in character fight, if someone really wants to play Grand Blue, they'll go and buy 6,000 gems and they'll just like spam it on the character fight. They'll save a lot of it, but you know... They might still spend money just for the character fight to craft a triple R. Who knows? They might do it during double drop. But it is very dumb that, like, if you miss out on a clan event, you basically get screwed over really, really badly if you wanted to play that clan. Because I know people who fail to finish Juggernaut Maximum. I know a bunch of people who still only have like 2 Juggernaut Maximum. And then when the Emperor and Jelly Beans were in, they were like, they refused to roll on the old gacha. They were only rolling on the new gacha for Jelly Beans and the Emperor because those things are too important. The thing is, now they only got 2 Juggernaut Maxims, so the deck isn't really max consistent and it's not max competitive. So, and they're kind of salty about that. So, there's a lot of issues with this game, and none of these are issues in the physical card game. Because in the physical card game, you can easily, okay, I won't say easily, but you have a lot of methods to get the cards you need to play the deck you want to play. Even if the deck is super expensive. Like, for example, like Shadow Paladins have historically always been way, way overpriced. Bermuda Triangle has also been way overpriced. It's kind of dumb, but I mean, you can still get the cards. This is retarded. This not being able to like craft cards from the limited clan event is just very, very dumb. And honestly, if my favorite clans were only limited clans, I probably wouldn't play Vanguard Zero. Alright, anybody Legend 20 in the chat? I just kind of want to know, like, what's the bottom? Well, Legend 26 is 100, so pretty much not that far, but yeah, I'm not even gonna bother climbing. I've already lost interest in playing ranked. That I don't really care to play it that much. It's unfortunate because I kind of wanted that card, but it's okay. I already got one. Let me see what it looks like. Because I got Legend 10 yesterday, I think. Slowly trying to build Battle Sisters up. I might open 10 packs on Tuesday for OTT. Just to hope to pull a Fromage. Because the way I look at it is like, if I don't pull... Like, if I don't... Your Legend 20 with Neo Nectar... Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's as long as you put in the time, you can get Legend 20 with any of the decks. You can get Legend 20 with Grand Blue if you put in the time. Because the meta right now is so diverse that there's no like horrible matchup for any of the decks. But I need to craft 2 more of these. So I might open 10 packs on Tuesday during the OTT pickup in hopes to pull one of these, and I'll just craft it. If I don't pull her, I hope to at least pull a couple of double rares, maybe a triple rare, so that it'll convert into crafting material. So it's easy for me to craft her. But I'm gonna need like 200 more orbs, or like 160 orbs, 159 orbs to craft 2 more Fromage. Yeah, right now, honestly, right now is the best time to play ranked, actually, because there's no, it's kind of boring because there's too much Ezel and Narukami, but it's not like it was in the last 2 months. Last 2 months were really bad, especially June, but well, I think July was probably worse than June, just because they killed off VP farmers and people were trying to adjust to that, and there was way too much MLB spam. People said all they faced were GP and Naru and GP are so low stress, just hit face win. Arboros is so good that been my go-to. Arboros is surprisingly good. It is actually surprisingly good. Musketeers are good too. Musketeers are a little bit more high roll, I guess. They're more like Ezel, actually, the way I think about them. I mean, this is okay. Like, okay, it's interesting in this artwork. Anybody notice that they still have Battle Sister Chocolate in the back here? She's over there in the back, just like she was in the original one. But she's over there on the right side. It's such a strange choice, though. Why would they choose Cocoa instead of Fromage? It would have been nice if Fromage was the rank. Okay, I'll tell you guys right now. If Fromage was the rank reward this season, I would be climbing to Legend 30 right now. Like, I would legit, because I need 2 more. But I would be going for the entire playset. So I'd be going for three of them, plus the SP. If Fromage was the reward, because I actually need it. I don't actually need this. I already got 4 of these. So that's such a strange choice, but oh well. But yeah, Arboros is good. Arboros is good because... Wait, are you running... What's your trigger lineup in your Arboros deck? Are you running stands or are you running crits? or you're running 9 draw, which is, I don't recommend 9 draw. I don't recommend 9 draw in Arboros because of Rainbow Wood. That's the reason why, and because of all the cloning. The deck definitely needs some kind of offensive trigger to augment it in addition to draw triggers. Maybe they don't want to make Battle Sisters too cheap. I don't see why not. I mean, they made Ezel dirt cheap. They made Vermilion even more cheap. 4 draw and 5 stand. That's the same as me. So I'm running 4 draw 5 stand as well. In fact, we might actually be running the exact same build. Like, I got my Arboros deck on screen right here. The only thing is I'm running 1 Squire instead of 4 Squire and 1 Corolla. Because I feel like Corolla is a better clone. Because you can do some... You can do some pretty good things with 2 Corolla Dragons. Like, with 2 Corolla Dragons in the same column, that's a 16k column. Where that wouldn't be for this guy. And with this guy, typically, his effect isn't really that relevant anymore because you're gonna send a booster away to get a grade 2, which isn't really needed that much because first of all, you got Arboros to clone. You have, if you're on Trailing Rose, I mean, there's always the potential for that Persona Blast play. So I don't really think this guy's effect is that needed. I do like him at 1 as opposed to running the Witch of Nostrum clone because you don't really need to do any filtering with this deck, if that makes sense. Another card that I was thinking of running instead of that guy, which I might actually put in, is Caramel Popcorn. Caramel Popcorn is actually pretty good because back when I used to play Perfect Riser, there were times where that 1 grade 1 came in so clutch to counterblast either like 2 or 3 just to make him 9k or 10k, or I think even in one case I counterblast 4 to make him 11k so I could hit the Tsukuyomi. But yeah, I think it's still nice to have this card in here. Just if you have too many grade 1s and you need to fish a Gene out. In fact, you could even, if you open up with a ton of grade 1s, you could even, like, send him, rush with him, and then call Gene into the back row so that they can't, like, poke at your Gene, and you'll have him in the back row as a clone target for later. So that's the reason why I like him at 1. But yeah, Rainbow Wood is the reason why you don't run 9 draw. Anybody saying that Neo Nectar should be running 9 draw in Arboros has no idea what they're talking about and probably hasn't actually tried to climb legend matches with this deck. Because she is your extra draw trigger. I basically count her as a draw trigger. So when I count my draws, I say I have 4 Made of Trilling Rose as a draw trigger. And then I have 4 more draws as Made of Rainbow Wood. So I have 8 draws in my deck. Potentially. Now, I know this is not a guaranteed draw, because if you don't have the counterblast, you can't draw. But this is not a guaranteed draw either, because this is dependent on a trigger activation. So I still consider it the same. So I consider this deck having 8 draw cards, and 5 stands. But this deck is pretty good. Anyone who says otherwise is either a scrub or, you know, hasn't really actually tried to play the deck properly. This weekend's rough because of the Champions Tourney, the MLB, the end of the... Really? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I saw MLB earlier when I was playing as Musketeers. Musketeers, so... I like Arboros. I feel like it's a relatively strong deck overall. It's good at building big numbers in late game. But I have more fun playing Musketeers. Musketeers is way more high roll and kind of top deck heavy, but it is It is pretty fun. The cool thing about these two decks are they are the complete opposites of each other. Arboros wants to run stand triggers. Musketeers wants to run crit triggers. So I run 4 crit, 5 draw, 4 heal in Musketeers, and I run 5 stand, 4 draw, 4 heal in Arboros. And the reason why we run crits in Musketeers is the reason why you would run crit triggers in Gold Paladin. Because you Superior Call a grade 2, Superior Call a grade 2, and then if you have leftover grade 1s, then you keep them. Or if you don't, if you have to choose between a grade 1 Musketeer and a grade 3 Musketeer, obviously you're going to take the grade 1 Musketeer. So that's how you get your grade 1s on the field. Other than that, the deck thins a lot. Like a lot. It pulls all these non-triggers onto the board. So therefore, the probability that you check a crit trigger, for instance, when you attack is improved. But the reason why you don't want to run stand triggers is because sometimes, like I said, your calls are kind of all over the place. Ideally, you're prioritizing grade 2s as your top priority. Second priority would be grade 1s. So you're left with a board where usually you have either like just 2 grade 2s and the Vanguard, or like 2 grade 2s, 1 grade 3, or maybe like even 3 grade 2s. Because there's been games where I've had like grade 2, and then another grade 2 behind the other grade 2. Like I'll have Antonio, and maybe like a Kaivant or something, and I'll like flip them so that Antonio can be spared for the next turn. It's just something like that. So you can't really get away with running stand triggers in Neo Nectar or in Musketeers because your board is kind of it's too high roll, it's too dependent on like checking cards, Musketeer cards and stuff like that. So if that makes sense. So the idea is you take non-triggers, throw them on the board, so when you swing with your Vanguard to their Vanguard, you have a higher chance to high roll that crit or that draw or that heal. And that's the reason why you run crits. There was literally a game that I won like 2 days ago with Musketeers where I was at 5 damage, the opponent was at 4 damage, and then I swung with Cecilia, checked my Main of Trailing Rose crit trigger, and they literally I thought they would PG, but they didn't have a PG, and they just straight up died. So there you go. That's the reason why you run the crits. Same reasoning as why we run crits in Grand Blue. Same reason why we run crits in Ezel. Push damage early, rush them down with your aggressive board, and try to hit them with a critical to try to kill them or something. Or push them to 5 early with crits. Push them to 3 or then 4, and then hit them with your like 3 attacks. If they don't have, the moment they don't have 2 interceptors is the moment you basically kill them. The hardest matchup for Neo Nectars is probably Gold Paladin. Ezel's kind of annoying to face because that deck usually, when piloted correctly, almost always has grade 2s on every single turn, so it's kind of hard to fight them. That's the reason why what I like to do when I'm up against Ezel with Musketeers is you want to play aggressively. You want to call down Ruth as a rear guard. You want to rush, bash as much as you can. You just play really aggro. That's basically how the deck plays. So, but it's really fun. Both decks are really, really good. Is Maiden of Rainbow Wood important in Arboros? Maiden of Rainbow Wood is mandatory for Arboros. It is a required card for the deck to be properly good. You must run 4 of it. She is a 4. This is a 4. This is a 4. Your last spot is up to you. You could either take the 10k vanilla, or you could go with Erminsol if you want to try to top deck something. I like him because, he could potentially top deck something that you can later clone with Arboros. So that's why I like him at 1. But it's a complete opposite of Musketeers, because if you look at my Musketeer deck, I chose Iris Knight as my 1 tech choice grade 2 for Musketeers. And I do that because you don't need Erminsol, because oftentimes you're calling dependent on Musketeers, and it's better to have a 10k that can run over any Bumanes or any 9k generic interceptor without having to worry about a booster behind him. Erminsol can't do that, and that's the reason why I like this guy in here. So you want max aggro numbers on your Musketeers, or your Musketeer deck, and for your other deck, for Arboros, you want to maximize drawing and top decking. So that's why you max her for extra draws, and you put him in as a tech choice just to randomly top deck something you can clone. So that's why I put them both together in that way. Now for the, I guess, yeah, this is also a one of. You could run Arboros in either deck, but I don't know. It's hard to justify Arboros because I like being able to use Laurel to randomly swing into any random generic 11k Vanguard, and we're not really in a cross-ride meta right now. Even against MLB, this card gives you so much value in late game, so that's why I like this card at 1. It's almost like having another 11k Vanguard during your turn. I know it's 12k, but you guys know what I mean. Having something that can swing into an 11k Vanguard without a booster, if you have to ride it as a Vanguard. So that's why I like it like that. But those are the decks. They're good. They're both really good right now. They'll quickly decrease in, I guess, viability in the next 3 months, though. They'll be good next month. They won't be as good, though, as they are now. So if you like Neo Nectar, if you're interested in playing the deck, if you were able to build the deck, or at least complete it by tomorrow, the end of tomorrow is the last day of the event, then I encourage everybody to try them out on rank, because they're pretty fun. It's a refreshing deck for sure, as opposed to, like the alternative is to continue to climb with Ezel, which is just kind of super boring at this point. So worst things worse is Musketeers end up playing like Ezel, but at least it's something different. And they're at their strongest now, compared to when they released in JP, because when they released in JP, they came out a little bit too late. They came out after Aquaforce was already in the game, so they were kind of weaker in that sense. Whereas right now, without Aquaforce around, I feel like it's a pretty viable deck to climb Legend with. So if you have them, definitely play them. They're worth playing. They're really fun. Both builds. Musketeers are the one that's a little bit harder to play, but they're kind of, because it's very dependent on what you randomly top deck off of your Musketeer call effects. But it's pretty good. Some people will probably want to run Arboros in Musketeers. I highly discourage you from going Arboros as a backup unless you absolutely do not have Maid of Trailing Rose. The reason why Maid of Trailing Rose is way better than Arboros in Musketeers is because, first of all, she's an 11k Vanguard no matter what. If you're running Arboros in here, he's going to be a 10k Vanguard because there's no room to run the Grade 2. I guess you could run Grade 2 as your one of, but it's like, at that point, why would you even bother? The consistency on that is like trash, so no. She's 11k. She has the Persona Blast, which is relatively cheap, so you could potentially use her to help you get either a 4th attack by creating a new column and further deck thinning, or just helping you get boosters and, interceptors to survive. So I like her in here a lot. Yeah, sometimes she can be a better win condition compared to Cecilia. The only problem with her is in late game, you have to kind of bank on the opponent not having a PG, because if you want to do her Persona Blast, you have to hit with her, and unless they're at like 4 damage, then, And people might be wondering, why are you running her as a crit trigger if she has a Persona Blast on hit skill? Well, the reason why is you make her the crit trigger, not Cecilia. And the reasoning behind it is this. if you're on Maiden of Trailing Rose, the idea is you're going to need another Maiden of Trailing Rose in hand to the Persona Blast. So that's taking 2 critical triggers out of your deck. So the probability that you check a crit trigger when you're on Maiden of Trailing Rose going for the Persona Blast is very low, because you've only got 2, assuming you didn't damage check 1 or early drive check 1. You know, assuming that didn't happen, the probability that you crit off of Maiden of Trailing Rose as the Vanguard is relatively low, because you only run 4 crits and she's the crit. When you run Cecilia as the Vanguard, she is not an on-hit skill, so therefore, the assumption is that you've got Maiden of Trailing Rose somewhere in the deck, and so you could potentially check a crit trigger with Cecilia attacking, because Maiden of Trailing Rose is the crit trigger. That's the reason why I set up the trigger lineup in this manner, where she is the crit, and then everything else, this and Cecilia, are draw triggers, and then, you know, Herman's the heal. So there's a very, like, it's pretty important how you build the trigger lineup. The trigger lineup makes sense. Doing it this way, I've been able to attack with her and do her Persona Blast. And also, essentially, you can think of her Persona Blast as a stand trigger, because she creates a 4th attack. So she's extending your attacks. Or maybe even 2 more attacks. If they're at 5 damage, well, if they're at 5 damage and they don't PG and she hits, then, you know, basically they have 6 damage heal. But that'll be the case with anyone. So that's when your opponent is on 5, it's easier to hit. Wait. It's similar to Trailing Rose, where the idea is that you take your opponent from 4 to 5, then. Yeah, but Behemoth, the reason why I don't like Behemoth in here, I thought about using Behemoth in Musketeers. The reason why I don't like him is because, first of all, he's a 10k that has to hit Vanguard, and he's Counterblast 2 to restand a rearguard. And he has to hit the Vanguard to do that. So if they PG him, you know, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's the same scenario as if Maiden of Trailing Rose tried to hit, they PG her, and then she can't do her thing. So, yeah. I don't really think Behemoth's necessary for Musketeers. You can definitely try it out. I'm not trying to discourage you from trying it out. It's just, I don't really think it's necessary. The thing is, Musketeers tends to be really Counterblast heavy because of their Superior Calling. Their 1-for-1 Superior Calling to deck thin usually uses up a lot of Counterblast. So, her Counterblast 1 is doable. It fits. But I don't know about that Counterblast 2. That's kind of heavy cost, which is kind of going to be inconsistent to use. I'd rather just use Laurel and just swing at a 11k Vanguard with her if I have to. But yeah. The only thing that's a little bit annoying about Musketeers is, I guess, Musketeers is the Neo Nectar build where you could go 9 draw. You could very well go 9 draw with Musketeers, and it's okay to do that. I wouldn't say that's bad, because you've got Maiden of Trailing Rose as a Persona Blast, so you need to draw into pieces of her, and she could potentially help you get extra attack. But that's kind of committing too much to the Persona Blast play, which oftentimes is not really all the be-all, end-all thing. Like, sometimes you just straight up win because you rush them early, and then you crit them early, and you took their PG out early, so then you just overwhelm them on your limit break turn with 3 attacks. So it's usually how it works for Musketeers. Wave 1 Neo requires you to think of the opponent's damage zone as a resource because of all the on-hit effects. The opponent's... I don't know what you mean by the opponent's damage as a resource. The opponent's... You mean your damage? Your damage is a resource, not their damage. Are you talking about this? Self-damage? to deny them heals. That's another thing too. Musketeers have access to denying the opponent heals artificially with this stuff. We have the build for both deck, and we have the same reasoning for trigger lineup. Yeah. But definitely, Neo Nectar is one of those clans that needs some kind of offensive trigger in the deck to help push them, give them an extra spiciness. Crits for Musketeers, stands for Arboros. Musketeers is aggro heavy rush deck. Arboros is basically in late game, I overwhelm you with really strong columns. And I don't care if you have PGs, because if I check a stand, you're gonna lose anyway. Cards like Trailing Rose, Gene, and Behemoth, where you have to decide which one to hit, because once your opponent is on 5, all of them are shut off. Not necessarily. You gotta remember that sometimes they only have 1 PG in hand. Maybe 2, but usually 3 is kind of rare. 3 is rare, especially if you saw them damage check 1. Usually, I don't rely on Gene in the late game. I use Gene early. I put him back as soon as I have him in hand, and as soon as I can try to use him as an attacker, I use him. I don't hold on to him for late game. There's no reason to. Trailing Rose is the card that you would go last. You always swing last with her to hit. If they're at 5 damage, and let's say they have 1 interceptor. If they've got 1 interceptor, and I have Maid of Trailing Rose, and I have Gene. Gene is my rear guard, Maid of Trailing Rose is my vanguard, and I have some generic whatever as my, the thing that's going to kill off their interceptor. Obviously, what I'm going to do is kill the interceptor with my grade 2, then I'm going to swing with Gene. I don't care if they PG him or not. To me, it doesn't matter, because I want Maid of Trailing Rose to hit instead of Gene. What I would do is, unless they have a 10k interceptor, because if they have a 10k interceptor, I'm not even going to attack them with Gene. Like, well, yeah. It depends if they have a 10k interceptor. Okay, let's just say the opponent has a 9k interceptor. So what I would do, I would use my 9k interceptor with the booster behind it. I would attack unboosted into their interceptor. Then I would attack their Vanguard with Gene boosted with Gene has a boost because he has to hit 11k. So attack them, they PG. Okay, it's gone. Now the thing is, Trailing Rose attacks. If they have the PG, then they PG. It is what it is. If they don't, guess what? She's gonna hit. If they 6 damage heal on me, if I check triggers, my trigger power is gonna go on the booster that did not boost, that is behind my grade 2, and I'm gonna call a new card over the grade 2 plus some other grade 2 retiring Gene. That's what I'm gonna do. And that's the play. Okay, then if they PG her, then it doesn't matter because it didn't work. But if they don't PG her, then they either 6 damage heal or you get an extra attack to them. So yeah, you always prefer this effect over this effect, because usually most of the time, by the time you're in a scenario where the opponent's at 5 damage, you probably only have 1 of the grade 2s in the deck, or maybe none at all. So that's usually how it goes. So that's the reason why his effect is not really that relevant in a late game scenario where the opponent is at 5 damage. The only time that will be relevant is if you somehow push the opponent to 5 damage so fast, because either you check stand triggers a lot and you had a booster ready, for whatever reason, and you're at like 2 damage and they're at 5 damage, or you're at 3 damage and they're 5 damage. That's the only way. But typically it doesn't really... I mean, it can, but it usually doesn't work out that way. We're assuming a lot of, like, specific cases where the opponent doesn't check defensive triggers every time, and you check the stance, so you push them, like, to 3 on your turn 2, and, you know, stuff like that, so... But, yeah, these are very specific scenarios that are not really... It's not really worth digging into the weeds too much. But definitely those 2 decks. Now, Death Army is also really good. Like, I'm kind of very, very disappointed that the Vanguard Zero community doesn't test this deck out more. Because this deck, I personally feel this deck is stronger than Perfect Riser. Perfect Riser, to me, it's still okay. It's not bad, but it's super boring, and it's kind of slow, and it's very redundant. But it's not terrible. It just doesn't feel like a Nova Grappler deck. It just seems like a... I don't know. Like a one-trick pony Falcon Punch deck. In fact, I think I deleted my... Do I still have my Perfect Riser deck? I think I deleted the deck. Yeah, I deleted it. Saw a couple people playing Indra. That's actually nice to see. It's not really that common. I don't really know why. I think that it's actually pretty strong. I understand, like, if they don't want to run Vayu, then they could just run the Djinn. Yeah, but that's just one matchup. That's just one matchup. Because if you lose the pawn, then yeah, I can see the problem. I mean, you still got this guy though. You still got this guy to rest your restanding rear guards and then stand them up, and they'll gain. Well, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. If the pawn dies, yeah, it does kind of hurt the deck. It doesn't completely kill the deck though. Because you can still, as long as, okay, if you lose the pawn to Narukami, then basically the deck turns into a high roll, can I check triggers during battle phase thing. So, Death Army has to run this. You have to run Death Army pawn. If you're not running Death Army pawn, then you're not running the deck correctly. That was the whole argument with that comment saying that Narukami kills the deck. I can kind of see why you think that, but I don't think it completely kills it though. Because honestly, the only time you're going to use the pawn skill is if you have Bishop ready, or if you have this thing ready. If you don't have those 2 cards, you're not going to be really using the pawn skill. So, yeah, no. Narukami does hurt the deck, but it's not like it kills the deck completely. I did do a 7-win streak with this deck, like 2 days ago. Like, while I was trying to finish off Musketeers. It is good. This deck, this and Musketeers got me Legend 10, like, relatively easily. You can't run stand, so you have to rely on triggers to do more than 1 damage. Yeah, so, okay. If the pawn dies and you're up against Narukami, then the only way you'll rest your rear guards is using the second skill of the Death Army Cosmo Lord, or Ultimate Life Forms effect to rest rear guards. That's the way that you'll rest them so that he can gain his crit. So you still have ways to do it. It's just not like... I mean, okay, as long as you have this guy as the Vanguard, you can still pull off his limit break, because you can rest your Death Armies to gain 5k to him. they won't gain 5k, but he'll gain 5k. Like, they won't gain any power, but he'll still threaten them with critical. But this, to me, this deck seems like it's really strong. Like, it's harder to use than Perfect Riser, and I think that's the reason why. But to me, it actually doesn't really seem like it's that hard to use, though. Like, okay, it seems hard at first, but once you, like, if you play, like, 5 or 10 games with this deck, after the 10th game, you pretty much know most of the combos. Like, it's not really that hard to use, and it seems pretty strong. It's pretty good at, like, it's kind of like Spike Brothers in the sense that it has the potential to do multiple attacks, regardless of whether the opponent checks a defensive trigger and you don't check an offensive trigger. Like, if they damage check a trigger and you don't drive check anything, then, you know, then it doesn't really work. But the thing is, you can still set up the power columns in a way so that your strong column can swing last if you don't check a trigger. If you check a trigger, though, and you have Death Army Lady or Death Army Commander, then, yeah. I don't really think it's that hard to build, though, because unless people were not like opening packs in the first season, I don't know why people wouldn't have Death Army Guy, Death Army Lady, like, Ultimate Life Form, Asura Kaiser. Like, these cards are cards that have been around for so long now. Brutal Jack's been around. To me, it doesn't really seem like it's that hard to build. Like, the only thing that you need to get would be this and this. So yeah, I think the deck is just as strong as Spike Brothers. I don't think it's any worse than Spike Brothers. I spent 70 packs on Duke. Now I don't think I'm ready for set 7. Death Army is a memorization deck. In the TCG, it would have been like set 5. Timely, daunting to most, but it's just combo memorization. Yeah, it's a bunch of combos. You gotta learn the combos. But the thing is, it can set it up so that they can push damage without too much trouble. In playtesting, that's what it seems like so far. I mean, the complete opposite of that would be Indra. Indra, basically, like, all you need is, like, another Indra or this, and you're pretty much set to have, like, a pseudo MLB deck every single turn. Because it's like, he'll have crit every turn, and potentially he can have even more crits. I haven't spent packs. We'll save them for Eradicators. I mean, if you're just gonna save them for Eradicators, why even play the game right now, then? You're gonna skip Aquaforce completely? Spikes is really powerful, so I doubt it's on its level. No, I kind of think they're kind of the same. Spike Brothers is... Okay. Spike Brothers can potentially deal damage without having to check triggers. But if the opponent doesn't die, then usually the Spike Brothers player is left with a completely defenseless field. Death Army... Yeah, they kind of have to check a trigger if they want that 4th attack. But, I mean, They have a Vanguard that can threaten with critical and hits for huge numbers. They have a... They always swing Vanguard last because all their triggers are basically stand triggers because of the way the rear guards are. You have Commander. You basically have 12 cards in the deck that can restand off of draws or heals. So, yeah, it's... Depends on how you look at it. Spikes are not without their weaknesses. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I only have the packs from the VP ladder so far since I spent them all in Pale Moon. From the VP... Narukami? Wait, Narukami? Wait, I don't know what you mean by packs from the VP ladder. Yeah, I only have the packs from the VP ladder. Oh, okay. Wait. So, okay, you're saying that you're not opening any more until Eradicators. So you open them this month, but you're not opening any packs next month or the following month. $20 packs at best. Like, I want to play Aquaforce, but I might open only around 20 packs of it. Oh. But I need at least one new deck for each month. Yeah, I kind of have to play a different deck every month. If I'm playing the same deck every month, I'm not playing this game anymore. I'll be playing like something else, like Neo 2 or something. Farm Great Nature mats for Polaris. Yeah, I'm kind of ready. I got enough for one. Everybody should be farming mats, you know, like everybody should be doing the dailies every single day. Like here, let's see what I got. So I have, well, it's easier to just look at character fights. I have enough to craft a single Polaris, or Leopold, or Lox, because I don't have a playset of any of them. But that's all I have right now, because I'm too busy having to spam all the Misaki fights to craft the Battle Sister Fromage. 70 packs during Gold Paladin raid up didn't grab me everything, so yeah, I think I'm gonna open 10 for OTT, but no more than 10. I'm still not 100% sure I'm gonna even open the packs. 70 packs during Gold Paladin. Only have the packs from the VP points we earn. I'm close to the free 10 packs. I'm not even close. I'm at like 500k VP. So I crafted, so far I've crafted 2 Fromage this month. One on day 1, and then one from like farming double drops basically. So now I'm trying to craft the 3rd one, and hopefully on Tuesday I guess I'll open 10 packs. And if I don't pull one, hopefully I pull some other triple R that turns into material, so it'll be easier to craft. And I'm hoping that I get a couple of double rares on that 10 pull, because I need more orbs to craft the 4th Fromage. But that is a deck that I'll definitely complete. The only other card that I crafted this month was I did craft a 3rd Reggie, because I only had 2. I had, 3 Chariots and 2 Reggie from the pulls this month. So I needed to craft 2 Reggie and 1 Chariot. I crafted the 3rd Reggie. I still need to craft the 4th Reggie and the 4th Chariot. So, yeah, Dark DI, unfortunately, is kind of slow for me to build. I do have the orbs ready, though, for Reggie and the Chariot. I just need the crystals. How many packs do I have now? Wait, I have like 40 packs right now. I think 40 or 41. I'm sad because the Aichi medals might come next month. Might? Oh, you're sad because they might. I think the Aichi medals are supposed to be for Aichi's birthday, though, so I wouldn't count on it, to be honest. I wouldn't expect those Aichi medals. We might get something different, though, but I don't know. It seems like they pretty much copy-paste stuff. They don't really... There's nothing really original for Global. Try to craft Polaris, and then the month following you can... Try to craft... Yeah. I guess. The only assumption there is you're assuming that he wants to play Polaris and he is okay with playing Ezel. There's also a chance that they give us 2 sets next month, too, that people haven't really talked about. Because if you look at the set after next one, so if you look at the finale set for Asia Circuit, there are actually a lot less cards in that final set compared to Awakening of Twin Blades. So they could give us Dungaree and the Blood and Platina, all that stuff next month in addition to Aquaforce. I'm not saying they will, but I'm thinking if they want to catch us up, next month would be a pretty good one to drop 2 sets at the same time. Based off of how they've been like accelerating all the clan events and stuff for Global, they could do that. They could very well do that. I don't know if I really want them to do that. Part of me kind of is okay with it because I would much rather be in Break Ride format right now as opposed to Limit Break. But at the same time, they could always give us Eradicators plus Celestials and Bermuda, all that, you know. They could put 2 Break Ride sets in Global, although I kind of think that's less likely because those sets are pretty big. I think that they could do both next month. Like, they could do Glory Maelstrom and Maelstrom's initial release. Blue Storm Armada, 1 gacha for Blue Storm Armada, and then the other gacha that has Platina, Ezel, the Blood, and Glory Maelstrom. And they could do it next month. But whether they will or not, I have no idea. Yeah, so right now I have enough to craft Polaris. I have enough to craft Metatron. And that's it. Oh, and I have enough to craft Pacifica or Coral. So I've got Triple R for Bermuda, Great Nature, and Angel Feathers. I don't have Triple R for anything else, as far as I know. Maybe Golds. Oh yeah, Golds almost have 2 Triple Rs, but, you know, whatever. Who cares about them? Wait. If they merge, what? People will be salty again when lose another 10 free packs. They could just give us 20. Just give us 20. I really want to because I don't want to just know what to build. Rather than just testing new decks? What do you mean? Coral is a ranked reward next month. Second half of next month. Wow. I don't know why anybody would skip this set. This set, well, people who, if you skip this set, that tells me that you're not a fan of Team Foo Fighters. That means you don't care about these 3 characters. That's what that tells me. Or you don't like any of their stuff. You don't like Spectral Duke. You don't like Reggie. You don't like Lukier. And you don't like Battle Sisters. Because that's basically this month. And I guess Indra, just because he's there. But basically, yeah, all the cool people got their cards this month. Next month it's gonna be completely different. It's gonna be this, the genius, the pop star, this, I don't know what he does, whatever he, the college student, I guess. And who's the fourth person? Oh yeah, an Emmy. Next month it's Emmy, Kenji, Chris, and Rekka. So it's four people. Is that right? Is it really only those four? 1, 2. Oh, and Leon. Leon's debut. Yeah. I was like, there gotta be a fifth one. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because everyone want the OP meta one. What do you... Wait, what? Okay, there's trying to figure out what people time. Isn't Coral... Oh, Coral's a ranked award. If I know Battle Sisters is not good, I will not... Who said Battle Sisters is not good? Battle Sisters is amazing. Because everyone want the OP meta one. I don't know what... Okay, this month, FYI... Top meta 1 right now is Lukie. Just FYI. I'm prepared. So, if you didn't open Lukie, you don't have the tier 1 deck this month. I'm prepared for Bermuda support. Because you guys need to remember, global meta this month is not the same as JP meta when this set was new in May of this year. Because JP got Lukie in May. And guess what? In May, Wingle Brave was still CB1. And Tejas was still Vanguard effect as well. Those two cards were not nerfed in JP when Lukie was new. Guess what? In Global, they are. So it's completely different. It changes the meta a lot. Battle Sisters are tier 1, or at least tier 1.5. Pale Moon is tier 1, like definitely. Anyone who is arguing has no idea what they're talking about. Just go watch my montage video of Pale Moon on the channel if you want to see an idea of what pro Pale Moon play looks like. The little sister, the idol, the windy boy with a harem. College emo and Justice Emperor Kaiju villain. Thank you for that comment. That's the best way to summarize that. Now, if you could do one for this month. Do one. I want to get your descriptions for these, because he's not really an edgelord anymore. He's not an edgelord in Asia Circuit. He's more of like a dork. This guy's, I don't know how you describe him. Or her in Asia Circuit. And Indra, I think, is kind of Miwa, so, you know, whatever. Battle Sisters is the only deck that counters Aquaforce. I wouldn't say that. I don't think they're the only deck that counters them. Yeah, they do mess up Diamantes and Basil, but there's other stuff out there. Dreamy Fortress is one that comes to mind. Pale Moon, for example. They just play... Then just what? Champion Steven says the Persona Blast for Pale Moon is not that great. I guess the same could be said for any Persona Blast in general. The little sister, the idol... Okay. Yeah, the Persona Blast is Pharah. Okay, he's talking about Pharah, but you know, Persona Blasts in general can be argued not that great because you need the pieces. It's still better than running Sarah, though, because you're not dependent on triggers, and she's an 11k base Vanguard, which the clan desperately needs as many 11k Vanguards as possible. So it's still, you still run it, as opposed to not running it. Primarily because of the 11k body, and the fact that it doesn't use any counterblast to do its skill. And it interacts with Nightmare Doll Alice really well, because it turns Alice into a 13k beater, so that Alice no longer needs to waste the booster behind her to hit the Vanguard to do her thing. So yeah, no, I'd say it's pretty good. I think he means Persona Blast in general, because having to rely on a Persona Blast is never really a very bulletproof strategy. Aqua Force will be tier 1. Spike is really strong, but you can't just spam without thinking. That applies to Aqua Force as well. Well, I mean, that's the case for every single deck. You can't just, like... Even if you're playing MLB, like, you can be playing the strongest deck in the game, and if you're playing mindlessly, it doesn't really matter. Like, you still have to play well. Yeah, but that... Yeah, but if you're comparing... Okay, Kagero, I can see why they're good. Narukami is just... They just do their thing regardless of who they're up against. So, Narukami is kind of like an anti-meta deck. They've become a meta deck because of MLB and Kagero nerfs. But Narukami always kind of was that rogue deck that was never really weak to any other deck, if that makes sense. But in general, though, Pale Moon is still a tier 1 deck. This month, when I'm saying tier 1, I'm referring to the current state of the game now. I'm not talking about next month. I'm not talking about last month. I'm not talking about Eradicator season or any of that stuff. Do you think Angel Feathers would be good next month like Pale Moon? Angel Feathers will definitely be better next month. Will they be good like Pale Moon? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think they'll be as good as Pale Moon next month. The thing about Angel Feathers is they need a way... They'll be stronger than they are now. But they still... The problem with Angel Feathers is they lack a way to consistently deal the opponent 2 damage. Or, like, when they're on the defense, they lack a way to consistently defend themselves. Right? I mean, other than, like, their gimmick is that they can heal. They heal more than the average deck, and on top of that, they have the ability to use their damage zone as an extension of their hand, so they have more options. But it's... They just don't have a lot of good... Like, other than Ermiel's like their main thing. She's kind of like Nightmare Doll Alice, that she can help extend and get them a 4th attack. But other than her, they don't really have a whole lot of other tricks up their sleeve to extend their attacks, like the way Pale Moon does. Like, for example, so Angel Feathers has Ermiel, which is basically like Alice, or Thanatos from Grand Blue. But they don't have an equivalent of Midnight Bunny, or Fire Juggler, or even Demon Mirror, or, you know, those kind of things. Or Mirror Demon. Why don't they just add more healing abilities? The Simp Tamer, Forced to be Edgy, Your Best Bro, Battle Babe, and Edgy Boy borrow my deck and lost to Justice. Why is he still edgy? He isn't even an edge. I said he's not an edgelord in Season 2. He stopped being that way. Hold up. Okay, hold up. How is this an edgelord? It's like he got a lobotomy or something, and his brain is like all messed up now. It's like he's either got like DID or some kind of weird mental disorder, and that's why he's now the complete opposite of edgelord. Like, hold up. They even had to put a second Ren skin in the game. Like, you know what's interesting? They actually put him... Where's the... Okay. There's two of him. I thought someone else from story mode was missing. They swap PG. Okay, they can swap PG. So yeah, like okay. I guess that's their defensive thing. But the thing is, that's dependent on damage checking PGs for that to be a thing. And sometimes that doesn't even happen. You know, like sometimes you'll play through games where the opponent, your opponent won't check a PG in their damage zone, or you won't check one, right? Like that can happen to the Pale Moon player as well. Angel Feathers plus 2k can really mess up people's... Yeah, I mean... Shamshield, yeah, that's true. Shamshield and the Pegasus cards are they're very good offense and defense. But if you're not on those cards, then it doesn't really matter, right? Because if the Pegasus is an interceptor, you have to kill it before you can deal damage. So it's never going to do its effect in that regard. I mean, unless you're Aqua Force and you hit them with Diamantes and then their Pegasus interceptors then power up. So you better have boosters on your second and third attack, or that's going to mess you up. So I could see that actually working in the Angel Feathers advantage. So there is that I didn't really think about until now. But if you're on Metatron, if you're on Kyriel, then, you know, the defensive thing doesn't really factor in. No Angel Feathers, yeah. You can swap, yeah. Would it help Angel Feathers if they can heal 2 damage instead of 1? Yeah, but I think that might be a little bit unfair when you think about it. Look, healing 1 can be huge, but healing 2 can almost be game-breaking. Forced to be edgy, boy borrowed my deck and lost. I put forced because he is still forced. Yeah, it was forced to play. Yeah, he's forced to play Shadows in Zero. Strangely enough, why not just add heal 2 and have the ability to swap? Metatron, well, okay, Metatron doesn't heal. Yeah, well, the sort of effects that you're describing are effects that Angel Feathers get later on in the game. They won't get them next month, but they get effects like that later on. Especially during G era. You're basically talking about the rescue skill. Healing 1 is better than countercharging 1. Healing more is just stalling, and Busho doesn't like that. Well, healing 2 can be kind of unfair. Because you're getting the defensive power on top of that. So it's like... Unless it's some kind of ergodial type skill. Yeah, later on, though, they get the rescue seal, but that's way later on. I don't even know if G will be a thing in Vanguard Zero. I don't know how long gacha games last. I personally have no experience with gacha games at all, so it's like I can't really comment in terms of longevity. I do think that they will go to Legion with Zero. I don't know what they'll do after Legion, though. Although, They may not even... I don't know. They might even skip Legion. They might just go from Break Ride to Stride. Who knows? But I think they should at least cover Legion, because I think it'll be interesting to see how the Legion skills function with Vanguard Zero's mechanics. The game mechanics are significantly different. So cards, Legions that were considered bad, like for example Aqua Force, Tetra Burst Dragon was considered one of the worst Legions. I think they'd be pretty good in Zero. I don't see how they'd be that bad. They'd be no worse than Maelstrom right now. So we'll see. And then being able to put triggers back in the deck, yeah, that'll be interesting. Because I honestly think that that's going to be the only thing that they can put back too. Because when you think about how the drop zone works in Zero, Legioning might be kind of slow. It'll be much, much slower to Legion in Vanguard Zero. Unless you get super lucky and you drove check like triggers every single turn. And not damage check them. The meta where every good deck either nulled, sentinels, or restood. Yeah. But I think Legion in Zero will be pretty interesting. Because, think about it, the only cards that'll go in the drop zone are your dead interceptors and your grade 3s that you drive check, not that you damage check, unless you heal something down. Yeah, well, we'll see, I don't know. People seem to think that they're gonna go all the way to G. I don't know how they can do that though with the way the game works. The game mechanics to me seem kind of busted. If you throw Stride in a game where you can only guard with Sentinels, I don't really see how that's gonna work. A 26k Vanguard with triple drive, and then there'll be all these other effects that have weird guard restrict effects. They'll have to rework the guard restriction effects, but you know, the fact that you have triple drive, your 26k base power without the boost, so you're typically, what, 31 or 32, somewhere around there when you attack. I think they will skip G and straight to standard. Do you think is the game? You know what though? If they skip to standard, what are they gonna do with all the old cards? What are they gonna do with you know, all this stuff? Like if they go to V series, they're gonna reboot the whole game, bar all these starters, don't have Forerunner effects anymore. PGs are supposed to be great. You know, how's that even gonna work? Because most people run draw trigger Sentinels in V series. See, I don't know. I honestly don't think that they're gonna be able to put V series in this game. I think if they want to do V series, they're gonna have to make a completely new gacha game that's completely separate from this one, or they're gonna release it in a different manner, like kind of like how they made that game for the Switch. I forget what it was called, but it's like Vanguard something. It's like it's on the Nintendo Switch. It's Japanese only, but there is a Vanguard V series based gameplay that does exist, but it's not a gacha game. Yeah, there's no stand triggers. There's no, like, none of that stuff's gonna work. Like, how is it gonna work? We've got force markers. We've got protect marker. You got the gift system, and the thing is, if they're gonna put that in this game, people already got all these cards, and not being able to use any of these cards anymore. What are they gonna do? Delete all of these cards that we've collected? Like, no. They're not gonna do that. That won't work. Vanguard EX, thank you, yeah. Vanguard EX is the V-Series game. I think if they want to make V-Series, they're going to have to make a new gacha game. That's the only way I can see them doing that. I think they're going to do a Legion. I don't know what they're going to do with Stride. That's a huge mystery to me. I have no idea what they're going to do with that. Alright, and with that, we're gonna do our final stamina run. And let's see if I have any packs to open. I don't think I do. I opened 10 packs earlier. I probably should have saved it for the stream, but oh well. I didn't pull anything. I pulled a 5th Cecilia that converted into material. That's all that happened. Who was I working on? This? Yeah. Can they just go to G Series and add new guard? See, the thing is they'll have to significantly change some of the game mechanics. I think that's the only way they can implement Stride without it being completely unfair. Like, it'll be broken no matter whose turn it is. Like, if it's your turn, you have a busted triple drive. If it's the opponent's turn, they have a busted triple drive. Like, I don't know how this works. Maybe it'll be okay, but the number, like, you won't care about defensive triggers because you're gonna have triple drive and you're swinging for like 26k. You honestly don't care about defensive triggers, so. But you know you got to deal with their interceptors, so maybe it's okay. I do honestly think that if there's triple drive though, there's gonna be a lot of people running critical triggers because why not? It's the main reason why Break Ride is so long, is maybe due to them planning. No, I wouldn't say that. I think it's mainly because there's so many. The reason why I'm doing normal is because I can get 3 fights. There's just so many cards that were released in Break Ride. If you think about it, Season 1 was 5 sets. Season 2 was 6, 7, 8, 9. Was 4 sets. So, in total, it was 9. 9 sets for 2 seasons of Vanguard. Season 3 was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so it was 6 sets, but it had a bunch of, like, extra boosters in there. There was the one for the Magus. There was the one for Novell. There was the one for Blau. There was, probably another one that I'm forgetting. Oh, there was the one for Die Kaiser, or the Dimensional Robos. You know, there was like 4 different extra boosters weaved in with those other... and there was a bunch of trial decks too, so... There was the one with Angelica for Genesis. There was the one with Infinite Zero Dragon. There was the one with Blast of Dark Revenger. There was the Liberator one. There was the Narukami one. You know, there was like a bunch of different product releases. Alright, here we go. 1 pack. Let's go. Maybe we can get SP. Hey, I got a double rare on a blue circle on a 1 pull. It turns into material, but that's kind of unexpected. And with that, I have 170 crystals, so I'll have 180 tomorrow. So almost... I'll finish the event with almost the exact amount of materials I had going into the event. So that's pretty good. Save... Oh, I need to spend my exclusive exchange. I'm probably going to get the packs, because I don't think I need any of this stuff. I think I already have a bunch of this. So I'll take the 2 packs. We'll take 2 of these. And then I'll spend the rest probably tomorrow on, like, some of these excess items here. Alright, and with that, we're going to go ahead and end the stream. This month is a really good month to be playing ranked. The only thing is I think I'm just suffering from a little bit of burnout from trying to, like, top 1,000 every season up until now. So it's kind of like, yeah. Unfortunately for me, I'm kind of a little bit burnt out from Vanguard Zero, not gonna lie there. But I encourage everybody in the chat, like, definitely now is a good time to be playing Vanguard Zero. The meta's really diverse. It's just a little bit boring, and that's kind of disappointing because there's not enough people playing the decks that came out this month for various reasons. Either they're saving for Aquaforce, they're saving for Eradicators, or Break Ride in general. Or they're just, you know, kind of, they may have been free-to-play VP farmers in the past. They're not able to do that anymore, at least not efficiently. So that's another reason why people are probably playing the same decks from last month and the month before. So I get that. Vermilion's easy to build because he was a rank reward. Ezel was easy to build because he was a rank reward. So I understand that they do it that way. Honestly, I think if they want to combat, like, people playing the same decks, I guess what they should do is they should not make cards like Ezel and Vermilion be the rank reward. But we already know they're going to just carry over from the JP seasons over to this. So we already know Platina Ezel is going to be a rank reward, which is a little unfortunate, but that card kind of dies off once Season 3 hits, so... But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do for G-Series. It's all we know is we're talking about something that's going to be, like, more than a year from now. So, because... What? Break Ride is 9 months, right? So that's, when does that start for us? October? No, November? Starts in November, so... A year from now, Break Ride will be ending for Global. So we will be starting Legion in Q4 of 2021. And that'll probably last for like 4 months. You know, kind of like Asia Circuit and the other one. In Season 1. So we're talking about something that isn't even gonna potentially happen until 2022 for Global. So that's kind of a while. So yeah, just to put things into perspective in terms of timeline. Yeah, I don't really know what's the story. I don't really follow JP's meta that much anymore. I kind of strictly only stick to Global, and I don't really pay attention to JP that much because it's not really relevant. It's okay. It's a good frame of reference, but it is not exactly relevant to Global's meta because as you can see, our meta is not the same as their meta. Like our meta now for Cavalry of Black Steel is not the same meta as JP when they had Cavalry of Black Steel, because they did not have the MLB nerf, they did not have the Tejas nerf when Spectral Duke was new. So it's different. Like if you were playing JP with these cards, you would have still seen a ton of the N, MLB, especially MLB. And that's definitely not the case here. Now it's like, yeah, now you can just say, oh, now we just have Ezel and Narukami to contend with. Yeah, but those are nothing like MLB and, well, they're nothing like MLB, right? It's not the same kind of annoying deck to face. It's relatively basic matchup. When I go up against Ezel, it's like I feel like I'm playing against the computer because the moves are so generic and repetitive. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. We'll be back next time. I'm trying to think just to let you guys know when to expect another stream. The next stream is either going to be next weekend. It'll be me trying to maybe try to go to Legend 20. I don't know, or maybe Legend 30. I haven't really decided. I know I kind of did a quick thing last weekend trying to go to top 1000 and Legend 30, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that this month. I don't really care too much about the rank reward, but if Coral is next month, I'll definitely try to go to Legend 30 for the Coral season, just for the playset, because I started it with Reindeer, got Riviere, might as well get Coral, right? Might as well get all the Bermudas. So I'll be going to top 1000, Legend 30 minimum during the Coral season, but pretty much not for the next couple of seasons. So I think that's what, a month from now. But the next stream will probably be next weekend. If not next weekend, there will be I'm not gonna do a live stream pack opening like I did for this month. And the reason is because we got lucky and the set released on the weekend when I was able to stream. So I don't think I'll be able to stream the set opening for Aquaforce, but I'll probably record it like I've done the previous ones, and I'll probably upload it on the channel. So just so you guys can see what I'll be playing next month, because like most people, I'll be playing what I pull. So if I don't pull Aquaforce, I won't be able to play Aquaforce. If I don't pull Bermudas, then I'm not gonna be playing Bermudas. I'll be playing whatever I pull, I play. That's my philosophy, and I will play everything at the beginning because of the rental system. Like, I was able to play Reggie and Battle Sisters the first couple of days thanks to the rental system, but after that I just went back to what I had. In this case, it was Pale Moon and Death Army and Indra. Yeah, next month I'm open to playing any deck I pull. So if I pull Polaris, I'm playing Polaris. If I pull Metatron, I'll be playing Angel Feathers. It doesn't really matter. I think all of them are relevant. I do think Aquaforce will be tier 1. So I'm going to try to build them, but we'll see. So that's going to be it for this stream. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.